What up? So we're showing off another PA Meet fan. This is a Hunter Studio Series remote from 1997. I have the bleached oak blades showing just for difference, I guess. They are white on the other side. See the Hunter logo faintly stamped in there. So I think this is a pretty cool fan. Get a shot of the tag where I put it through the speeds and such. There's also the Hunter logo right there. There you go. It is flush mounted. That's just how I got it, and didn't really feel like putting a down rod on it. One, because extra work, and two, because this mounting system is actually the normal one. It's not the extremely complicated designer's choice or whatever it's called, so it goes up very easy. But anyways, here's the remote. I originally intended on putting a light on this thing, but as I'll explain, putting a light on one of these fans is extremely difficult for some reason. So, go ahead and start on low speed. So in this switch housing here, it's pretty elongated compared to other models if you can't tell. And that's because everything for the remote receiver and how the fan runs is down in there. It's not in the upper canopy and it's not in the motor housing like other companies did it. Hunter crammed everything into that switch housing. And it's all embodied by, it's all encased in this like, not like circular, but like a cylindrical plastic piece. So there are wires for a light kit in there, but the hole that the wires have to come out of is the same size as that little screw right there. And it fills the entire housing, so you'd have to push these wire nuts, which are very small, and it's already hard enough to connect those wires back up. So it's just kind of a nightmare. I didn't feel like going further with it. I don't know if they ever changed this design, because this is the first one that I've had, but hopefully they did, because man, it's just weird. But anyway, it's very nice and quiet, low speed. Featuring Hunter's nice, functional low. Let me go ahead and turn it up to medium. You can also notice that there's a red sort of indicator light to show that the remote does work and the batteries are still good and all that, kind of like an older TV remote. See, I'm not exactly sure when this model was introduced, but at some point in the 90s, I guess for all brands is when I think having a remote for a fan wasn't considered something you had to go out of your way to buy, or wasn't some like insane luxury. Because apparently A&G Machinery invented the first remote fan, I don't even know when, like maybe late 70s, early 80s. I don't know if any one of those has even surfaced, because A&G fans are rare enough as it is. But then later on, there were third-party companies that were making remotes for fans, like that Demigo Mood Setter, or I don't even know what the brand is called or how to properly pronounce it, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But they were all kind of wonky. But then as the technology got better, so did the fans. The 80s was very much a time for focusing very hard on wall controls. So remotes had to wait a little bit. So for this one specifically, I got this from John Reed. and other than a few scuffs, it works totally fine. Bearings are still good. Remote functions as it should. And if you have lost the remote to one of these, I think that there are replacements on eBay. I don't think they're labeled as Hunter, but the remote looks exactly the same, so I assume that that works. Now I will go to hi. So this is sort of a childhood fan to me, and speaking of losing the remote, that actually ties into this story. So I visited a family member's house that lived in Delaware, like probably in 2009, I think. And I'm sure one of the pictures is up on my YouTube channel, one of the videos, but they had an antique brass one on a very long down rod in their living room. But the problem is they lost the remote to theirs. So I never got to see that one running, and to be honest, it probably got replaced a long time ago if it was non-functional 15 plus years ago. Yeah, I guess I'd be looking for an antique brass one. Although I think the Chrome version of the Studio series, whatever it's called, I think that also came in the remote version. So that would be really cool to own. But even if it's 3-speed, that'd be pretty nice. If you don't know what I'm talking about, imagine basically the Chrome 2nd century original with black blades, but it's on a Studio series instead. I think this might have a 188mm motor in it because it is doing very well. There's a chance it's a 172. I haven't looked at it yet, but also a chance that since it's flush mount, it's not really blowing as much air as it could, but yeah, it's doing pretty good. Now, to show off the remote capabilities, I will turn it off from all the way back here. Oh yeah, I guess I could reverse it, actually. I don't know if you'd be able to hear that, but there's a click inside of the switch housing indicating that reverse works. So I imagine these were intended for high ceilings. You can really use them anywhere, but you know, when a fan's way up on a high ceiling, can't use pull chains, and you could use a wall control, but a remote is much cooler. So anyways, now that it's in reverse, I can hit the fan off button. Also happy that the remote isn't yellowed. You see that a lot on white plastic of any kind that's, you know, been around for a while and gets exposed to sunlight. There is a way to undo it, but it's annoying. So I prefer when it just looks nice. Think of a Super Nintendo, how on some of them they still look white, and other ones they are yellowed beyond belief. Or maybe a more relatable example to people who collect fans is the plastic Emersons. The white ones anyways. The brown ones never change color, at least that I know. But the white ones will turn more and more yellow over time. Yeah, I'm going to call it here since spin down is going to take a while. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more fan spin. Bye.